Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're looking into the disappearance of James Clyde Gramling. He was only 20 years old. I don't know if it's Gramling or Gramling. He went missing March 30th, 1997. This has no height. 5'5" to 6 foot tall. Like they're not sure how tall he was. That bothers me. It says Augusta, Georgia, Richmond County. Last seen on the afternoon, March 30th, 1997, he left his home in South Richmond County, Georgia, to ride his green 1997 Honda TRX 300 four-wheeler to a male friend's home, a 5-minute drive away. On a four-wheeler, he told his parents he would call if he was going to be late coming back. Did he make it to his friends? Did something happen to him on the way to his friends? Did something happen to him at his friends? Did something happen to him on the way home? He's never returned, and he's not been seen or heard from since. Dark brown, which is black, I would call it black, and hair, brown eyes. And they found his four-wheeler abandoned a week later in a wooded area off Windsor Spring Road, in Richmond County. And according to the Charlie Project, it was covered in blood, covered in human blood, but they didn't find him. So let's see what it says. He left his home, riding his four-wheeler to a friend's home. 5-minute ride, told his parents he would call if he was going to be late coming back. Never came back, never seen or heard from since. They found his four-wheeler abandoned a week later in a wooded area off of Windsor Spring Road in Richmond County. It was covered with human blood. Investigators questioned 2 suspects, but no one's ever been charged. If you have any information, whether you feel it's hearsay, somebody drinking, talking, you heard it in jail, you don't know if it's true, contact authorities. Let them decide what's relevant, what's important. How are his parents supposed to have closure when they're always wondering what happened? He didn't take any money or clothing with him when he disappeared. He just bought a stereo that he left behind. He had dropped out of school prior to his disappearance and took a night shift job at President's Bakery. His parents describe him as a poor reader but a good-hearted, nonviolent person. Nonviolent. 2 suspects. His four-wheeler covered in blood. So you imagine if they did something to them, they were probably covered in blood themselves, right? But I don't know. I don't know what happened. But I would imagine that 1 or 2 people went home covered in blood. And somebody knows something and they're not coming forward. And his family is stuck without closure, without ever knowing what happened to their son and their loved one. How sad. And then here's a map. I don't know if he lived on Tobacco Road, but I was looking up addresses that he may have lived on, and that's one of them that I found. And that's a short ride. It's 7 minutes from Windsor Court, but if you're cutting across, you could get there in like 5 minutes. So where did he live? Did he live on Tobacco Road? Where did his friend live? Did his friend live in that direction? Was his four-wheeler found near where he went missing? I wonder if that's near where he went missing from. So, and they haven't found his remains yet. And here's Windsor Spring Road. And I wonder what it looked like back then. And there's some lakes. Richmond Factory Pond. This is called the lakes. I don't know. Right here is there's Spring Creek. There's some body of waters and stuff right here. I don't know what it would have looked like then, but they haven't found his remains yet. If you have any information, please come forward and tell authorities the information that you have. Let them decide what's relevant and what's important. That is just so sad. I'm not sure where he lived at the time, but I was just looking for some addresses, and I'll show you some of the maps that I've looked at. Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he lived at the time and where Windsor Spring Road is in comparison to where he lived. And I'm going to go back through. It's just heartbreaking that they have no idea what happened to their son. There's an RV campground right here. I don't know if that was there then. Am I going the right way? Sure. Mobile home community. I just am wondering if that's about the area he lived in, because but I'm not sure, because I found an address there. So, and I'm wondering where his friends lived or where he went, what happened to him. You know, how did it get covered with blood? And then they have this on Facebook, and this says he was 6'2". So there's a height, and it's not the height that's on NamUs, because NamUs says 5'5" to 6 foot tall, and this is 6'2". And black hair, brown eyes, date of birth December 23rd, 1976. Left his South Richmond County residence riding his four-wheeler. Did not return home. Has not been seen or heard from since. The four-wheeler was recovered about a week later in a wooded area. It was a green four-wheeler. It's just a shame. And here's a newspaper article in 2015. And it talks about how he would call if he was going to be late. Song Gramling told reporters of her son's disappearance on March 30th, Easter Sunday, 1997. His parents were instructed to tell his friend if he called that he would be at his home in 5 minutes, although the 20-year-old body was never found. Possible homicide because of the amount of blood on his four-wheeler and where it was found, a wooded area off Windsor Spring Road. I would think that with it covered in blood like that it seems like it would be a homicide. And it seems like whoever did it's gotten away with murder all these years. It was a case that baffled the investigators mainly because of the lack of a body. They used a helicopter, divers, and called in cadaver dogs on 2 occasions. The Gramlings, employees who worked with their son at President's Bakery, also searched the woods looking for clues. Officials provided little new information in the months after his disappearance, but a GBI agent told reporters there were similar witnesses in the Gramling case and a Warner County case involving 2 people found burned in the trunk of a stolen car on July 24th, 1997. Double homicide never solved. People got away with murder. That got away with murdering 3 people so far. Then Chief Deputy Ronnie Strent said early on that investigators were targeting 2 Augusta men, 2 men who lived in Augusta in his case, but they never arrested anyone or charged anyone. The Gramlings told police their son was not without faults, but he was not capable of violence or the type to run away from home. They said he had dropped out of school but was a mama's boy who didn't like to fight. He didn't take any of his money. All his clothes were in his room. He just bought a new. And I wonder if they were waiting for him at the friend's house, if they were waiting for him on the way there. How did they find him to get him? I don't know. Was it on the way there, on the way home? 5 minutes. A 5-minute ride. It's so sad. And there is someone that reminds me of him, and it's not him. I'm just going to let you know. It's not him. It's very far away. It's all the way across the country. But somebody died about 2 weeks before he went missing. And when I saw them, when I saw their appearance reminded me of him. So I'm going to mention them. But, it's not him because wherever his body is, it's probably right there in that small little area. It's probably right there somewhere in that small area. But about 2 weeks before he died, there's a young man that was only 23 years old, and he was a tall man as well. He was about 5'11". He only weighed about 108 pounds, and he between 23 and 33 years old, found in Los Angeles, California on the sidewalk. Just found on the sidewalk, unconscious, taken by ambulance to the hospital where he remained until his death. Recognizable face and dark hair, about 8 inches long, brown eyes. And no one has claimed him. No one knows who it is. So I did, because he reminded me of him. And I noticed him when I was looking to try to find anyone that met his description. Of course, this is not him, like I said, because his body's going to be right there, probably in that area close by, if they find him. It's so sad. If you have any information, please come forward and let authorities know. You can write them a letter, email them, go down there, fill out a report. Don't forget to pray for his family and his loved ones. Feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.